welcome to another episode of Unapologetic with DrG, where I have the pleasure of hanging out and speaking to some magnificent people. And you know what? Today is no different. We have here with us today Coach Tiffany. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
So tell all of our viewers a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, my name is Tiffany, also known as the Daycare Maven, and I'm the CEO of ABC 24-Hour Childcare, as well as a business consultant for women in business, primarily who have an interest in opening up a childcare facility, also with churches, faith-based organizations or corporations looking to add childcare as a service to their packages, as well as their influences in the community. So that's a part of it, along with being a wife and a community person and an advocate for others and a social worker. You know, the list goes on with what we do as women.
Yes. Oh, yes. So, I ask everyone that comes on this series, what are you unapologetic about in this moment?
You know, I'm unapologetic about the goals that I've had to set and understanding the sacrifices that have had made in order to reach them and obtain them. So I'm unapologetic about the sacrifices and the barriers that I've had to put in place, the regimented schedule, how my life had to become more structured. So though it was a transition to get to the place to be unapologetic about it, I'm unapologetic about it because I see the results manifested from the sacrifice.
Okay, so now you see the results. So I'm getting ready to ask you, what does that now look like for you? And what sacrifices did you have to make to get those results?
Woo! How you feel? When you think about the sacrifices that you've had to make for your business, your goals, your family, and everything that was a part of pushing you forward. So the sacrifices, I've been able to grow my business starting out with 6 enrollments, and I grew my business more than 2,000% in less than 3 years. So I was able to turn it into a multi-7-figure earning business. I mean, and so this is the manifestation of the sacrifices, and they don't end. So in order to maintain and continue to grow and to continue to have additional streams and really invest into the lives of other providers who have an interest in growing like I did, I'm committed to investing into that. I'm committed to that, to reaching those goals as well.
Okay, so now that you've reached these goals, what has manifested from just being able to pour into other people? What's manifested in that greatness for you? And then tell me how that makes you feel.
Well, it feels amazing. It's all it's a life of freedom. And what it looks like is being able to get responses from people, from childcare providers, primarily women whose lives I have impacted, and those who I've coached along the way, that who have been able to see the results of their sacrifice and growing their business as well. So that is so rewarding, and when you are confident that quality childcare is improving around our nation, because that has been one thing that has been a thorn for me for years. And to see that providers are taking it seriously and want to provide safe childcare for children means everything to me. It's so rewarding. It's emotional for me too, because I want to be sure that kids are safe and being educated in their environments.
Okay, so why childcare? What turned this passion for you to say, you know what, I think this is going to be my niche? What was that decision for you to say children is what I want to do? I mean, were you a teacher at some point, or it was just something different that hit you to say this is it for me?
Well, I'm not a teacher. I'm actually a licensed social worker, and I've been in the field for a little over 20 years. And combining my background in social work and being an ex-federal employee, I put them together. And I knew that I wanted to do business for myself, because when I was a child, my father taught me how to run business. So I was wondering, how do I mix the two? And then there were things happening in the news around this time about childcare, incidents with children, abuse with children. How do I make this work to meet the needs of the community? So as I was transitioning and thinking and trying to figure out how to put this together, my brother had a need. I was home. Him and his wife needed a child care provider, so they brought the kids by the house. In addition to that, I was president of the NAACP at the time. And there was a homeless woman who reached out to me who absconded from a domestic situation with her children. She, we helped her to find somewhere to stay, so we had her in a hotel for a little bit. So pulled women in the community to get together to purchase food for her children, and she had a job interview. So what was she going to do? She said, Tiffany, I had a job interview. I took my children to my job interview. I have another one coming up. I need help. So she brought the children to me. And so this thing was starting to happen with the children before I actually submitted and was licensed to start. The need was great. It was a huge need. And I wanted to be able to be positioned to meet the needs of the community.
Okay. And so now that you have helped other people establish daycare centers, that's correct, right? You've helped others establish them.
Establish daycare centers and grow their daycare facilities.
And so let me ask this, when people are interested, you know, what is the process like? Or is it something that people say, I think I want to do this, or is there coaching that comes along with it to make sure that they will be a good fit? Because not everybody, people want to do business, but then when they realize the reality of it, it's like, oh, this is overwhelming, because working with children is something that you just have to know that you want to do it, not just for the money, but for the passion of it. So what is that called, like when people come to you and say, I think I want to do this? How do you know that they are cut out for it?
When they know that they're ready to do it, when the level of sacrifice matches up and aligns with what their vision is. And then I take my clients through a series of questions. They have to dig internally, look at what's around them. What does their environment look like? What is the passion? What is the motivation behind wanting to open a child care facility? And is it a facility? Are you looking to grow your family daycare to a group daycare, to grow into a center, to have multiple sites? Finding out what that vision looks like and the reason for it, because that also helps me to know, is there opportunity, and do they have a goal to have this business branch out to have multiple streams of income within that child care business? So it is very important to hire a coach to go through a process. I probably would get there a little faster if I had a coach like me. I'm telling you, because the things that you learn and the things that I'm able to share with my clients is just so valuable. It's really valuable. Things that it took me years to develop and come up with, I can just pass on to my clients, and help them to dig and know how to dig within to find the answers to the questions that they already know.
Okay. And so do you still operate a daycare yourself, or now is it like, oh, I have people for my daycare, and so my goal is now to just help other people?
My goal is definitely to continue to assist and consult with primarily women childcare owners, as well as organizations and churches around the country. And in order to do that and to be free from that, I had to be sure that my team was solid. I mean, everyone from maintenance to my kitchen manager to my facility director to supervisors to transportation managers to the accountants, the bookkeepers, putting the entire team together, because it is a team effort indeed. And so with that, I have been able to have the freedom to move forward with the consulting. They know that I'm present, when they need me, if they need me. But I'm telling you, they do a phenomenal job. And I want to help people set up the same and similar structures, whatever meets their needs and whatever will help them reach their highest level of success in their childcare business is the structure and foundation I want to be sure that they build.
Okay. So one last question. What is the hardest thing about being in business, especially as a Black woman?
Ooh, Lord.
You're very successful in what you've done, but I can imagine, as a Black female CEO as well, I know the hardships that come with it, and they're ever evolving, as you grow and learn. So what has been your greatest challenge being a Black woman in business?
Well, one, finance was a challenge in the beginning. And I was able to build my childcare business with really nothing and debt free. and I actually maybe shouldn't say nothing, but with human capital, with that sacrifice, and I was able to write grants to fund my vision, and even going through the pandemic with the amount of loss that many businesses, especially those minority-owned businesses, Black businesses like us, we experienced a decrease during that time. And so I had to figure out a way, how do I compensate? How do I be sure that all of my employees and my contractors still have a steady check coming in? And writing grants is a service that I also provide to organizations as well as churches and individual owners of childcare facilities. So I was able to do it for myself as well as other clients during this time. It has had a great impact. So that has been, finance has been one of the number one. Number two for me has been the transition in the regimented time, and having to put your life in a schedule, and really helping your family and close loved ones to understand where your life is transitioning to, because it is definitely a transition when you have to be up before the sun and you're up after the sun goes down. And what does that look like for you? What does that look like for your marriage and your relationships? So I would say that finance, and then managing my relationships around it, was challenging, but I'm so glad that we have gotten to this place where it has become a team effort, where it has become a family involved effort, and everyone has a piece to the puzzle where they pour into me in a way where I can keep going. Where it's not just my motivation, but the energy of those who I have allowed myself to be surrounded by.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that the power in everything that you said is absolutely amazing. And I think that it's inspiring to people, because that's a harsh reality that business owners, no matter what, has to go through. And so, how can people connect with you if people are interested in becoming daycare providers or even just want your coaching? How can people connect with you?
Well, you can find me on social media anywhere, as well as the daycaremaven.com is my website. And so you can find me on Facebook. A lot of people message me on Facebook, but you can also go through my website, sign up for my newsletter, and look for those new digital products that are coming out for consumers, and also the daycare provider planner, how to organize your life in childcare, and what does that look like. Agendas for us have to be a bit different. So go to the website, thedaycaremaven.com, to find me, connect with me, and I'm telling you, it will be an experience that you will not regret.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for swinging in, especially, I know you're busy. So I appreciate you taking the time to come out and inspire everyone who is watching. Definitely you all stay in touch, connect with the Daycare Maven, get some information. I think one of the biggest things that she emphasized on was grants. There's so much money out there that is untapped. Get yourself, if she's a grant writer, definitely be in touch with her, because funding is so important to keep it. You keep your business afloat. Loan and hurt, and you have to pay them back. So definitely look at getting a grant. Thank you again so much for swinging by. And you all, that was your unapologetic moment with Dr. G.